Good evening. Welcome back to Play the Hits for another episode of Celeste, because I can't think of anything clever tonight. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing swell. I don't have to do jack shit tonight.
That's right. So this is either going to be an unmitigated disaster, or maybe it'll work just fine. But
so my processor's taking a nice break, and I hate to be the fly in the ointment, but real quick, if you would like to start sharing it again with me on Discord.
Oh, fudge.
For some reason it stopped as soon as
Oh, that's probably because I didn't share it at all. Oh, let's see here.
No worries.
Wait, actually, no, I did. What happened? Well, let's see. We're going to have to go back to the game.
No worries. The nice thing about this is like once you make an error on this, you'll completely remember it the next time.
All right. No mulligans. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah, really fun.
All right, let's see if I remember how to play the game, though.
So it's been forever and a day since I've actually watched us live on Twitch. And I gotta say, the delay between the actual live gameplay that I'm watching on Discord and the buffer for Twitch, it's really not that huge.
Oh, really? I remember the last time I was doing it, it was like a full 10 seconds or so, but maybe it's gotten better.
I would say it's probably barely a second.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
No. So we got to be pretty near the end of this game, it's looking like.
We're getting there. It's
making peace with your inner demons and whatnot.
Yeah. It's gonna get real in here. There's gonna be some feelings.
Man, I don't know. We had like a 20-minute conversation that you and I completely talked over last time.
I know, jeez.
How much more into our feelings can we get?
Yeah, well, Madeline is going about this a way. Probably not the right way.
Her own way, yeah.
Yeah, I don't need you anymore. Yeah.
Oh shit.
This is
setting you free. Go be your own fucker.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh. I probably should have seen that coming.
Psychology every few decades. It's just like, yeah, we shouldn't have been doing what we were doing. Let's put an ixnay on the cocaine and figure something else out. And this is like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't throw away parts of ourselves and just try to work with them.
Yeah, let's just lock that into a deep box in our esophagus and never open it again. Let's just swallow those. Dude, you know what? One of the best, I don't know if you would call it like a psychological comedy, but weirdly enough, just like a really good movie about deep psychological problems. You saw Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it definitely took more of a 90s, like, haha, look at the funny, delusional man stand.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it also managed to be surprisingly deep at some points. Like, Hank, he always thought that Hank, his alternate personality, was the bad guy. But
yeah.
It was just like an important part of himself that he was completely shutting out.
Yeah, because he was like the super nice guy, but like suppressing everything that annoyed him.
Yep, he would not have any confrontation whatsoever, which I totally understand. Oh, yeah. You might be dead.
Right?
How is this not killing her? Oh, there we go. Water. That's how. All those purple spikes to the spine, no big deal.
Yeah, what the hell? She fell through so many of those. If I go through one of those, I'm fucking dead.
Right?
All right.
Fucking dead.
Back to using the D-pad. This is definitely a D-pad game for the most part. But when you do the feathers, let's see.
That's just a fucking swamp. Was all that
yeah, it is. This frickin' stage, though, there are so many. Yeah, so right here, I gotta use the control stick.
Oh, like, shit.
It is not fun with the pad, but
no, I imagine not.
Yeah, this stage sucks because I'm gonna miss. Actually, what's nice is there's no strawberries, but there are.
Like
there are a lot of alternate paths, like a ton of alternate paths, and so it's very easy to miss the whoops. Very easy to miss. There we go. Oh no! Oh! Very easy to miss the Crystal Heart and the B-side.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's not right.
Oh, holy crap.
That's not what I want to be doing.
That is tough.
I'm just being stupid. I'm being real stupid. So, how's it going? I feel like we haven't had a one-on-one game session since it's been a while, like since your vacation.
Lake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we tried to do it on the lake, but it didn't work out. Oh shit. Wait, is he coming back down?
He should be, yeah.
He's coming back down.
Actually, you know what? I don't need him.
I'm cool enough. Oh yeah, you totally didn't need him.
Yeah, you can glitch the. Well, it's not a glitch, but
glitch the jump.
You can.
That's my favorite Skyrim game.
When you do this and you jump when your hair is white, you get an extra jump.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Nice.
Basically the B-sides teach you a lot of advanced movement.
Oh my god.
See if I remember where the Crystal Heart is. But yeah, how was the vacation? How long were you at the lake?
We were there like 10 days. It was nice. It was super relaxing.
Nice.
Perfect weather before like this ungodly, heat wave kicked in.
Oh yeah. Like last Tuesday too was, I think, worse. It was terrible.
Dude, this, like, I understand that one isolated heat storm is not indicative of global warming as a whole, but
yeah.
Like, let's be real here. The weather is so schizophrenic. How can you? I mean, I know how you can deny it. It's politics, but
how
can you intellectually deny it? Still?
As I talk to more people, it's basically, I think people just like hang their hat on entire conspiracies. And it becomes part of their whole life, Yep. And if they deny it, then they're denying something that they've been believing for so long. They can't do it. They just can't.
Right, like you have, and it's not even belief or not belief. It's like, regardless of whether, like, objectively speaking, if someone put the information in front of you, like, we're not asking you how you feel about it. We're asking you to reject this as a part of this platform.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need to do to be a, Trumpist Republican in 2022.
Right.
And it's super frustrating, like, in the middle of heat waves, truncated by tornadoes, which is basically where our country is right now for this summer. So, what the fuck is that?
It's I remember it has to do with the puzzle in the first stage.
I just thought it was like an ancient VCR.
That's what I thought too. Let's see. Do you feel like Googling something for me? Googling the puzzle on the first stage?
Well, what's this level called?
Well, this level's the 6th stage, but I don't want to necessarily figure it all out. I just want to... I know it's the puzzle on the first stage with the birds. They tell you what directions to dash in.
Okay.
And so it's like you got to do that to light this torch. Then you got to do it, but do it backwards as well to light this torch. Then you flip them 90 degrees to light this torch, and then I forget what you do when you light this torch.
I mean, I'm looking at the full solution.
Oh, you're looking at the stage 6 solution?
Yeah, it says inside will be a room with colored crystals adorning the wall.
You know what?
Bust
Fuck it.
The wall to the left of the statue to enter the crystal area. To summon the crystal heart, you must light 4 torches by dashing certain directions. The patterns are as follows.
Oh, they don't even tell you? Because I want to know, like, I'm pretty sure it's like flip it 180 for the second one, flip it 90 for the third one, and then mirror it for the fourth one, I want to say? I don't know.
I don't know.
But, okay, sure. Just give me the first one.
Okay, first torch is dash up, left, down right, left, up left.
Oh, that's a lot of things. You know what? I'm going to write that down. Let's see.
I mean, do you have to do it quickly?
Sort of, but not really. Okay, so what is it?
Okay, so after each dash, I'll tell you what your next move is.
So up. Okay, yeah. Up.
Left.
Left.
Down right.
Down right.
Up right.
Up right.
Left.
Left.
Up left.
Up left. Okay, so it's up. Was it up, down, right? So up, down, right, left.
No, it was up, left, down, right, up, left, up, left.
Down, right, up, right, left. Up, right was the last one? Okay,
up, left was the last one.
Okay, you know what? That's too much to remember. I'm not gonna write it down. Just give me the stuff.
Let's fucking cheat. Here we go.
Fucking cheat. Right. I already figured this out on my own years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Who are you trying to impress with your 0 viewers? Okay, torch number 2. Up, right, down left, up left, right, up right. All right, torch number 3. Down, left, upright, down right, left, down left. All right, final torch. You genius, you. Down, right, up left, down left, right, down right. So you're right. That was a mirror of torch number 1.
Okay, cool.
See, you're not stupid.
This was a tough one to find because even just getting to this room is a little weird.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I'm occasionally peeking over at the stream quality on Twitch.
Yeah.
Your computer is so much fucking better than mine.
Oh my god.
You're streaming in 1080p 60 without like any static or blips or slowdown whatsoever.
Oh, that's good.
And granted, this is a fairly graphically simplistic game, but still, you're also playing in 1080p 60 FPS. So.
Oh. Death.
Which, whenever I have to stream using my PC, like I'm streaming in 1080p 60.
Yeah.
But the game itself is running in like 720p on medium settings, if that.
You left me behind.
Oh. Yeah, I did. You're gonna die.
No, not.
No, you're not. You're gonna be dead. There we go.
Okay.
Now you're gonna be.
Let's see if I can do this stage without sucking too much.
Where's the fun in that?
That's true. Okay, good.
But yeah, dude, I may, like, now that GPU prices are finally back in the MSRP
Getting
range,
to MSRP, yeah. Oh, by the way, up or down?
Down.
All right.
Because I like when you go down. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, bro.
You sure? Because I can explain it. There's a joke in there. But yeah, like, I'm thinking in the next year and a half or so, I may do a PC upgrade.
Nice. And they say like don't even buy a 3000 series right now because the 4000s are on their way.
You know, they always say that.
They do.
Well, and my concern with the 4000 series is that NVIDIA just for the last 2 years saw that people would pay easily more than double the price that they're charging for their GPUs. So I'm thinking the 4000 series is going to be stupid expensive even at MSRP.
Yeah, that was like the 2000 series. It was so surprising how affordable the 3000s were until, shit hit the fan.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like I enjoy what NVIDIA graphics cards do, but they're a money-making business in Silicon Valley. Like if they have the opportunity to make more money, it doesn't matter how pro-consumer they say they are, they will always go for a little extra money.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing the 4000 series of GPUs, and they'll wave the finger at inflation. They'll be able to hide behind, well, hey, at least we're not charging you scalper prices.
Right.
Yeah, I guarantee you they'll probably be about double the price of the 3000 series.
You're probably right.
So I'm thinking I may go with a 3080, and I'll still be future-proof for probably a good 5-6 years. And
I think so.
And we'll see where the market is and where my salary is in 2030.
Okay.
Oh, God. I just depressed myself.
I think, 3080 will last you a good long while.
Yeah.
And you could see, like, what the... Because I feel like how they usually... Oh, whoops.
Ooh, so close.
Oh, wait. Oh, damn it. I thought I was dead, so...
Thought I was supposed to kill myself. But yeah, when we finish up with this, what'll be really cool is getting your Elgato running on Streamlabs and just streaming directly from that too, because that's actually even easier. One, because the Elgato does all the heavy lifting for like processing the game and everything, so your computer's not getting anywhere near as much of a workout. And then two, your Streamlabs OBS will just read the Elgato as a independent capture card, and it's just that simple.
Nice.
You'll be able to stream it straight from OBS.
I feel like the 4000 series, they're gonna, there'll be like 2 or 3 or something that come out.
Yeah.
There'll be another cheap one that comes out like 6 months later. But I wonder, like, even the cheapest one, I wonder if a 3080 will still be your best bet. Well, again, it's all speculation without seeing what the prices are. Because even if it is kind of cheaper, like, I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure either, like, what real landmarks have been achieved tech-wise since the 3000 series came out. Like, this to me seems like it'll be an incremental upgrade.
Yeah, and even what, like, games are doing, like, it was a big thing. Like, going to the 2000 series where they first had the capabilities of ray tracing.
Right.
That was like that was a big jump, sure.
Yeah.
Since then, I think the 3000 series was just like doing it that much better, but costing
with the emphasis being more on 4K too.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I feel like the big push in the 20 series was ray tracing, and then when the 30 series came out, it's like, okay, now it's reasonable for you all to upgrade to that 4K HDR monitor.
Yeah.
And then with the 40 series, my guess is it'll probably be kind of similar to like PS4 to PS5. It's just shinier than what exists now.
Honestly, for me, by far the biggest thing with the next generation of consoles is that hard drive. Like, the fact that you made it standard.
The NVMe. Yeah,
the fact that you made it standard and that developers know that there's not a lowest common denominator that they have to, like, that's like kind of bottlenecking them. That's what's really cool. But anyway,
you were telling me too about that NVMe. I'm about to I think before I do any kind of PC upgrade, I'm just going to upgrade the storage of my PS5. Holy crap.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, what is it? 500 gigs or something? Or is it 1 terabyte?
It's 1 terabyte, but on the PS5 it's borderline unusable.
I've heard.
It really is. You can store maybe like 5 games.
Isn't the OS like 100 gigs or something? Like,
yeah, so you don't even get the full terabyte. You get like 890 gigabytes.
Old lady knew about what the mountain does.
Right. Oh, good for her.
I want to see evil old lady.
So, she looks like Hapasai. What the hell? Oh my god, I randomly watched an episode of Ranma 1/2 the other day, and it was the one where they go back in time with Hapasai.
Oh, with the mirror?
Yeah, they meet young, sexy Cologne.
Oh, yeah. That was some weird-ass show. I love that show. And I know it's good. Like, if I just watched it today, like, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. And the dub is a little painful. Okay, but it's what, we had to choose back then.
It's got that kind of early 90s charm.
It does. And all these actors.
A little bit of transphobia in there, too.
For
I'm not
sure.
gonna lie,
For sure. Oh, my God.
But it was also the late 80s, early 90s, and the whole point was him learning to be comfortable with a feminine side as well as, like, his martial arts masculine side. So it was, in a weird way, it was also kind of progressive for the 80s.
I didn't tell you that, like, you're reminding me. I had a dream. It was this year, but it was, like, probably...
the one where we were having sex in front of your dad again?
No. This is, wow, that's for my therapist. This was, like, back in February or something, that it was... I don't know if you were, like, writing a short story or something... But it was, all of a sudden we were like, it was like, it started out normal, like we're just playing games or something. And then it's like a detective story. And we're like trying to like find out who this killer is that's like killing all the, and it was, what was it? It was like killing all these video game characters. Like, how's this for like a fucking, like...
That sounds like freaking awesome, man.
It's also like, how childish is it? Like, oh, by the way, so there's like a developer's room up here, I think, if I...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't get to it through normal means, because you're just going to die.
They give you like a weird porn book like FF4?
Nothing like, I wish they did. I think what you have to do is that this little block right there, you gotta do a thing, but not that thing. You gotta that thing, and then that, and then that.
Whoa!
And then let's see.
Cowabunga!
I think it's through there. Oh,
the fact that you did that even once is impressive, though.
Super jumps are hard. Super jumps are very hard.
Oh.
I'm only gonna try.
So bad.
I'm gonna try like 20 more times.
All right, only like 60 times, maybe that. Maybe not even 60. Dude, have you watched the first half of the final season of Stranger Things?
No, I haven't. Now I know the.
It's good. It's good.
The second half is coming. Wow, this is harder than I remember.
The second half is coming like next week, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think it's like July.
Which is next week, isn't it?
Are you serious? What's today?
Today's the 21st.
Oh shit! Fuck, man.
Yeah. It sucks, man. It sucks for me, especially because my sabbatical will be almost over.
Oh my god, when is July your last month, or when does sabbatical end for you?
So the last week of July is when I go back and kind of soft go back. Like I basically just kind of play catch up. I'm not doing like a whole lot of real work, just like learning what I missed and reacclimating to my office and all that stuff.
Why the hell am I? Oh, I would have made it that time.
You nailed it that first time. But
and
so like Stranger Things, like it started off like it did for everybody. Like, hey, look at this fun '80s nostalgia kind of soft horror series, right? And that was fun. And then season 2, like, wasn't super into it because I wasn't 100% sure what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
And season 3, I was like, hey, this like, there's like all this '80s nostalgia, but they've actually got a pretty serviceable sci-fi plot going on here, and now I'm super invested in season 4.
Okay. Oh wait,
I definitely thought season 2 was the weakest. But like season 2 just kind of for me served as a bridge between season 1 and 3.
See, I liked season 2 more than season 3. Season 3 was the one where what's her face's brother got possessed, right? Yeah. Well, although you know what,
I dug that. Cool.
Never mind. Season 3 was the one with the mall. That's right. I did like that. Okay, there's. I think. Oh, jeez. What do I do here? It's a. Do I do?
Try massaging your nuts while you. Okay, never mind.
I think I got it.
Do you do the thing where her hair turns white and you dash up?
Yeah, but that's very difficult just because of the space right there. But I think if I dash towards the ground and I get the white hair. Ooh, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Damn. At least you got that first part down.
I'm gonna get it.
So
I'm gonna.
Close.
I fucking got this.
There better be porn at the end of this hallway.
Right. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I'm almost...
Season 4, it does the thing that, like all good final seasons... Oh, nice. That all good final seasons of a show... Hey, Meat Boy. He's here.
Basically.
Meat Boy.
They don't say anything. That's it.
Nice. Cool, though. I like that. Nice little Easter egg. So I won't give you any spoilers for it whatsoever, but... it does what every good final season should do, at least in like a horror, action, sci-fi kind of thing, which is it really makes you feel like no one's safe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So on the one hand, it's a little bit stressful, but on the other hand, it's like there's like stakes,
Okay. How many episodes are there right now?
And it also takes 8, 7 or 8. It takes every single character too is like way outside their comfort zone. And so, like, a lot of, like, the familiar tropes for the characters that were present in the first 3 seasons, like, they're still there. Like, the core of their personalities don't change. But it's like, oh, man, like, this person in this context is behaving completely differently.
Okay.
And it's like, how do you... And part of the season is like, getting them back to themselves in a weird way, like restoring their friendships. Because you watch the end of season 3, right?
Yeah.
So you know that like Will Byers and
11 are living together.
No, Wider went to Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. I remember they were moving somewhere.
Yeah. I think they even said at the end of season 3 that it was to LA, but in any case, they're living in LA.
Okay.
And so like they're out of contact with everybody except for like letters, and so there's some strain there. And it's all really good. And Elle still doesn't have her powers, and so she's coping with that. And Hopper.
Wait, who doesn't?
Remember at the end of season 3, Elle lost her powers.
Oh, yeah, that's right, okay.
Yeah, so she still doesn't have those back. And Hopper's MIA, and,
Yeah, Hopper, you think was dead, but you knew at the end of season 3 that he definitely wasn't, yeah.
Right. And they don't wait, without spoiling, they don't waste any time answering what happened there.
I figured, yeah.
But, like, you knew Hopper was... Like, they even showed him in the preview. You knew he was coming back.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler.
Thought you were done with me. That was clearly a mistake.
Sorry.
The murder tentacle showed me that was a mistake.
Okay, so I definitely missed the B-side, but that's not so bad. This stage, I remember being a lot longer, so maybe I just usually suck. Or maybe the bottom path is just really good.
Right. But anyways, like the last thing that I want to say, and again, spoiler free here, but the one thing that no other season did, and the reason that I actually really enjoyed season 3 was because it kind of came close to this. They never had like a really solid, villain.
Yeah.
It was always like something from the upside down, some kind of like faceless, nebulous, like evil presence.
Yeah, or something accidentally slips through it, basically.
Right, exactly. Or like it's not intelligent, or like the Demigorgon or something, or the Mind Flayer.
Even the Mind Flayer.
Yeah, because like he started out like he's manipulating Billy.
That's actually what I liked about season 2 is the Mind Flayer seemed super scary.
Right.
The season didn't end up going anywhere, but...
Right, and then in season 3, like he's manipulating Billy, but then when he shows up, he's just another big monster. But anyways, in season 4, the villain is excellent.
Yeah.
Like he's probably the most interesting character.
Whoa! Yeah.
Oh shit!
Don't kill me,
yeah,
please.
Be ready for that. Like the villain in season 4 is probably the most interesting part of the show.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like especially for a character that they introduced literally in the final season. Like he has not showed up before this. For one thing, he's freaky as fuck. He's basically like a serial killer. And, it's awesome. So, yeah, be ready for that. And I'll be curious to know like how many episodes in before you kind of guess who he is or what's going on with him.
Shit, okay.
Because for me, like I figured out part of it maybe about like with 2 episodes to go. But there was a big twist that still caught me off guard.
Okay.
But it was good. It was really good.
Ah!
Oh! Damn. This is tricky. Is this the final boss, or...?
Nah.
No, okay. This is the emotional climax that gets you ready for the final part.
Yeah, basically.
Cool. It's like when Cloud gets his memories back.
You know what? Yes. This is the test I have to do in order to make something of myself.
Oh, speaking of which, we have not talked about the 25th anniversary of FF7
that's right.
on the show yet.
I was...
What are your thoughts, even though I already know most of them?
Yeah, it's like... I mean, of course, I think we one of the things that was nice, we got to watch that live together.
Yeah, we did.
That's... Basically, it's okay, obviously they're continuing down this path of the story's going to be probably pretty different, and which is like, we know how we feel about that with the first game, but
yeah,
it is kind of nice that it's probably too early to tell, but it looks very open world.
Yeah, it looks and I think that's just because Nibelheim is a small town, whereas Midgar is a huge city. But yeah, you're right. It looks way like the mountain path to the reactor that they showed. You're right. It was way more open looking. And Midgar was, which is exactly the right direction to take a game. But like when you finally stepped foot out of Midgar in the original FF7, you saw like how huge the game world actually was. That was awesome.
That was a fucking awesome part of the game.
I would love for them to be able to replicate that feeling in the remake.
Yeah. I don't know.
That part I'm excited for. Go on.
Yeah. And of course, this is like a day one purchase, like, of course.
Yeah, as much as I was flummoxed by some of the decisions in Remake Part 1, I'm still going to play it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
But basically, in that trailer, like you said, they showed us that part of Nibelheim that looked way more open, and so that was kind of a cool hint of, like, how the game's going to play a little bit differently than the first act. And it was Cloud walking with Sephiroth toward the reactor. It was kind of cool because we got a piece of the story that we didn't get in the original FF7, which is
what's that?
The English translation. When they're going over the flashback between Cloud and Tifa, there was that line where Tifa in the original game, she said something like, "Cloud, did you think I was going to die, or did you think I was going to make it?" Cloud said, "You look pretty bad." And in the remake trailer, in the remake trailer, he's almost like justifying, like she clearly her memories of the event are different than his, and she's like, I don't remember you being there. And he says something like, "Well, by the time I saw you, I thought you were already dead."
Yeah.
She goes,
okay, so almost like
you're saying, and then we see kind of from Tifa's standpoint, which is like, "So what, you're saying I'm an imposter, or you don't believe me?" And that's kind of an interesting...
Yeah, Tifa just stayed silent in the first game.
Tifa just let him be insane in the original.
Yeah, basically.
and
with a little ellipses, like, dot, dot, dot.
Here it's kind of like she's doubting herself. It's like, well, I mean, clearly he knows something.
Or she's angry with him.
Yeah, right. He's giving an accurate account of what happened. So clearly he must have been there, but I didn't see him there. So she's kind of like trying to work through it with him, which I think story, like, if you're going to expand the story of the original, it's a hell of a good place to do it. Like, give us some more, like, you know, how are these characters approaching this, like, horrible thing that happened to them 5 years ago? That'll be neat. But unfortunately, in the trailer, they showed Zack again, and
and he's talking. I think he's the one that's like, "Feel like I failed you" or something.
I still think it's the wrong direction to go. I really do. Like, why does he have to come back?
No, there's no reason.
And more importantly, like, not only like why. So business-wise, the reason he has to come back is that he's a fan favorite character.
Oh yeah, he makes money, just like Sephiroth.
Right. Well, yeah, and I still think that was a mistake, making Sephiroth the final boss of that game.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, that was like what when we fight him again, what's he gonna do? Here's my other wing. Like, Sephiroth is supposed to be this big, mysterious, and some of the impact of seeing him in this flashback is going to be lost, because that was the first time you saw his character sprite in FF7 was in the Cloud's flashback.
Wait, was it?
Yeah,
I feel like the first time you saw him was like at the Northern Crater, like a much farther along in the game.
The first time, well, I mean, you don't see him like the first time the party directly interacts with him is actually on the boat.
Okay.
But like the first time you like actually see his character model is in the Nibelheim flashback. But in the remake now, instead of that, really, like, we're not going to be like 15 hours into the game before we get to see him. We've already fought him. We've already seen, like, what he's capable of. So, like, what's the point of Cloud recounting how monstrously badass Sephiroth is? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all whatever. The biggest problem I have is Zack, because his presence absolutely removes Cloud's agency as a character.
Yeah. And it's also just like... Right.
It's almost like they're saying, "Hey, the real hero is here, guys."
Yeah, and are they gonna do like oh, by the way, Cloud, you're an imposter, and here's the real Zack, which would be like okay,
the party's gonna like go with Zack for a while Cloud just mopes around. Fuck that.
That's actually the better of the two options. I feel like because the second option is
All
no,
she needed was a
Cloud.
hug.
Cloud has always been a badass. Like, he's just his own badass. Where in the original game, he totally was taking on, like, his Genova cells took on Zack's personality.
Right, and his strength and
everything, to like imitate him.
And then like he finally became a coherent person when he like reconciled the fact that he's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's.
What was that?
Changes color.
What was that town called?
Gungaga. Oh no, Gungaga is where Zack is from. Medial?
It was Medial, yeah.
Yeah, the Medial arc was really, I think, the best part of the game, story-wise.
Yeah.
Like, Cloud's out of commission, he's completely lost his mind, and the party kind of goes out and tries to carry on the work, and it's a little slower going, and then you go back, and there's this huge crisis, and yeah, it's real. Wow, that's cool. But yeah, that was super cool, and I feel like if Zack is just a part of the story now, and like he's there, like you can't have that moment.
Yeah.
You just can't. It wouldn't make any fucking sense if you had that moment with Zack there as the Mary Sue to explain everything.
Yeah, it's just like, you gotta remember, you're not me. It's like, fuck that. That's...
Yeah.
It's like having so much of a leg up. Like, how... It doesn't make it dramatic at all if you already have someone there that's like, let me show you, let me make you remember how it's supposed to be. You know? That's what was kind of, like, scary, because, like, with that kind of, like, Mako poisoning... And Cloud's been poisoned like that twice now. Jeez, I mean, but it's like you shouldn't be able to come back from that. You know, it was like kind of a miracle he and Tifa did.
That's where Cloud finds his own strength, is he does come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like he's a strong person regardless of Zack.
If it's Yeah.
That's
what made it such a cool underdog story, is because he wasn't first class soldier. Right. He was a nobody.
At first. So here, like with Zack showing up, like is he just gonna unravel the plot to Cloud? I mean, what are they going to do with that? I can't imagine a scenario that they're writing where those two come together again, and it's anything but like a big fucking mess.
Yeah, like is Zack going to?
But like, yeah, go ahead.
But Zack, so at the end of the first game, like Zack is actually carrying Cloud. Like it's the past or something, right? And they like cross each other. So is this like I feel like it's a parallel world or something.
That's the best I'm hoping for. Like that's the best that I'm hoping for, is that we're now like, we get to play like the main timeline, but then there's also this like little side like what if story.
But it's like,
I don't know.
Obviously, they can't just have them separate for no reason. They're gonna come together. They're gonna influence each other in some way. So either way, Zack is gonna have an influence, and not I'm dead and
sucks.
An influence. Yeah. So I can't, like, yes, there are better case scenarios that they could take it, I'm sure, but best case scenario, it's still not, you know. Yes, it's not the story that we grew up with, but at the same time, it's like, it just seems so much less dramatic.
It does.
You know?
So, like, there's another theory that I have, and it would kind of require them to sort of, and that's why I'm calling it just a theory, like a kind of a shot in the dark, because, like, what they implied at the end of 7 Remake was that when you killed the fate gods, or whatever they're called, the Whispers, you basically blew the story wide open, and like it undid key parts of the past, and like everything's different now, and that's why Zack is back. The theory that I have is maybe that's not quite it. Maybe we're just playing as like Zack in the afterlife kind of thing, like he's in like a sort of limbo now, and he like thinks he's still alive, but maybe other people can't see or hear him, or like he can only interact with certain things in the real world or something, and he's, I don't know, like that wouldn't be fully atrocious.
Starts making a pot with Cloud, and
yeah, I don't know, like if he's still in some way dead. Like that would be great. Yeah, wouldn't that just be great if he stayed? And then there's the other big thing too, which is that if Zack is alive, they can't possibly still kill Aerith, you know, which is the emotional high point of the entire original game.
Now, but here's what I'm. Ugh, I died. Here's
like,
what I'm.
What would be the fucking point of having Zack come back, killing Aerith in the middle of the game, anyways, in order to get the holy materia or whatever?
Yeah.
And then for some reason Zack is just along for the ride now. I don't know. Like, what the hell's going on? And so, like, I'm also wondering too, like, if the main conflict of the game is even still going to be Sephiroth summoning the meteor.
That I kind of doubt. It seems like his plans are bigger now.
Right,
but
which also kind of sucks because there's the whole, like, how fucking awesome would it be to be out in, like, this beautiful open world field in the third act of FF7 Remake, and you look up in the sky and there in 4K resolution with HDR is Meteor just looming over the sky. How fucking awesome of a spectacle would that be with modern graphics?
Right?
But I kind of think they're not going to do it. It's like you said. I think they're gearing towards, like, Sephiroth is, like, trying to re-rig the world so there's, like, some scenario where he wins and it has nothing to do with Meteor, or even worse, I'm worried that Sephiroth is somehow going to become sympathetic.
No, please, God, no. Wait, whoa. I almost missed that. What'd you just do? I almost missed that.
This is like suddenly so positive.
Right?
The game's tone is like completely
all of a sudden I'm like twice as good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so what were you gonna say?
Oh fuck, what was I gonna say? That it's like, my hope is that now that we know it's a trilogy, the second story in a trilogy is like where the heroes are at their lowest, right? I feel like it definitely wouldn't be permanent.
It's got.
But what if
this is the second part? Like, if they were following the main story from the original game, it would have to end at the crater.
Yes.
Like the crater would be the lowest point, because Sephiroth summons Meteor, Cloud is out, and like everything looks like it's gone to hell.
Yeah. I feel like, what if Aerith... Why do I keep doing that? What if Aerith dies at the end of Rebirth anyway, you know?
Well then, man, I mean, yes, I totally 100% get what you're saying, but man, how much story would they have to cram into the third act? Or the third game?
I don't know.
Like, so basically, we would be at the end of Disc 1, right? Mm-hmm. So Disc 1 is roughly a little less than half of the game.
You're also assuming, though, that they will kind of try to follow the first game still, you know?
Well, right, yeah, and I think you're right. I think they're going to completely deviate from it more and more. But, like, assuming that they were following it for some reason, like if they were still trying to follow the basic beats, like it's the same but different sort of thing, kind of like the Midgar chapter, then logically it would make sense for them to end at the crater. But you're right, that Aerith's death would still be kind of one of the big emotional climaxes, so they could end it at either place. But man, if they were to end it at the City of the Ancients with Aerith dying, they would have way too much to cram into the third game.
Yeah.
Like, it would literally be like assuming they kept a similar pace, it would be like a 100-hour game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't see them doing that. But I could see them basically pulling... I haven't gone up there yet, have I? Some of these rooms look the same, but I could see them pulling a rabbit trick in the third act, being like, okay, Aerith died at the end of the second one, but I don't see them keeping it that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Ooh.
Which again, fuck that. But...
Yeah. Again, it's just the whole...
Everybody gets a happy ending.
Yeah, the whole name of the game seems to be just less drama. And it's like, I don't think they're trying to do that on purpose, but that's totally... Like, how many times we talked about the first game?
Like, they have to commit to Zack being back.
Yeah.
And immediately, by virtue of him just showing up and being like, hey, Cloud, how you doing? That means that the whole drama of what happened before the game started is erased. I'm sorry. Yeah,
for sure.
No one will convince me otherwise.
And, Yeah, the end of the first game, what was it? Like, Shinra being so absolutely just, like, shown up by the Whispers. I hated that.
I know, me too.
The Rufus fight was so fucking cool. Like,
it was, and it meant nothing.
And it meant nothing in the end.
Not a damn thing.
Let's see.
That Whisper fight, like, both the Sephiroth fight and the Whisper fight were just fucking stupid. But
okay.
I almost put the game down. I'm serious. Yeah. Like, and not to be like a spoiled first world, like, you messed with my Final Fantasy.
I get you.
But like, I enjoyed that story. Like, I wanted to see like some dramatic narrative tension, and there was none in that.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, we're gonna like grind the game to a screeching halt. And we're just gonna go like big badass monster battle.
What if Sephiroth were here? Like, we know you love him. Wouldn't that be fucking crazy? And it's just like, okay, a remake. You know what?
It's literally like you put the condom on and you just immediately ejaculate. That's what that fight.
Yeah, exactly. You know why Sephiroth? It's not just because he's fucking Sephiroth. You know, it's also what he did in the game that made him popular. They gotta remember that.
Right. What we were just talking about with like having him show up way too early and what that does. Like, the whole reason that Sephiroth was a memorable villain was because, in large part, of how slowly paced his revealing in the original game was. Wow, that was hard.
It's all good.
It's hard as shit. I have no idea what I would be doing in this situation. Apparently neither does Max.
I got it.
You got it. But yeah, like, seriously though, like, who's afraid of Sephiroth that played Remake Part 1? We just showed, like, how powerful he is, and that our team of level 25 characters is able to beat him with no problem.
Yeah, right?
And granted, yeah, I get that, like, they showed a cutscene right after that where he's like, you're still not strong enough. That's a fucking stupid way to do that. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, and there was...
Like, you just gave me a battle in which I mopped the floor with this guy, and now you're expecting me to be afraid of him again in the second
Exactly. Like, and he was one of the easier fights. Like the 3 colored Kingdom Hearts motherfuckers, the big Whisper guys. That was kind of a cheap fight. They like
it was stupid for a different reason.
They cheap shotted you so much. But then Sephiroth, if you knew how to counter, he was nothing. Yeah. Like. Oh shit!
Yeah, it really, like, neither of the final boss fights were necessarily like difficult. Like, you're right, the Kingdom Hearts one had some annoying parts, and then Sephiroth was just a damage sponge.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Just keep whacking away at him and don't forget to heal. And like that was it, really. Oh, nice.
There we go.
But yeah, like,
yeah,
I'm getting frustrated. This is the same conversation we've been having.
You know what? Because the game is actually so good. It is so good, and it could have been like perfect. Like,
it could have been like one of the best games. Period.
And now I'm getting frustrated. I'm just like, how do I play?
How do I play?
Okay.
And you're right though. At the same time, like, it's still going to be a day one purchase for me. I'm still going to play it through, just to see, like. And, you know, silver lining, like, if I'm expecting, like, a sloppy, not well thought out story the way that Square Enix has been doing lately, the worst that could happen is that, like, I'm correct, and I called it. And like, if I'm not correct, then great. You know, what if they do something really cool? That would be fucking awesome.
This is stage 2. Sorry.
No, you're
so the Crystal Heart, you go through all the stages again, basically.
Yeah.
But these little crystal things I'm collecting, I didn't get it for this stage yet. And I feel like this stage, it's kind of hard to find. I might have missed it, but we'll see if it's possible to go back.
But yeah, I was thinking, you know how they just released the Chrono Cross remaster?
Yeah.
But like, part of me was thinking, like, you know, what if, because it's Square Enix in 2022, like, they released that game only in... Did you ever play Chrono Cross?
No, I never beat it.
Do you mind, like, a 20-year-old spoiler?
No.
Okay, so essentially, the big shocker of that game's plot is that you find out that the original team from Chrono Trigger.
Oh, they're dead.
Failed.
Yeah.
Not only are they dead, but they actually kind of fucked the timeline up, and that's why weird things are happening with Surge. And,
I did hear about that, and it makes me sad.
Well, because the first game was so like lighthearted by comparison.
Yeah.
And as a result, Link's the kind of sort of bad guy.
Yeah.
In Chrono, well, you get to play as him for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then he's
that
also
was
sort of kind of the spirit animal of Surge's father.
Yeah.
Okay,
I do know most of the beats of the game.
Okay,
and
so essentially he kind of killed a lot of the main team in Chrono Trigger, which was another big shocker. But like, in 2022, it's Square Enix, so it's like, hey, no, everybody's back, and none of the emotional impact of that. You don't have to deal with, negative feelings in any way, shape, or form. Here's Chrono. Look how cool Chrono is. He's gonna beat the final boss for you, so that you don't have to work at it.
Yeah.
And I could totally see them doing that, which is the sad thing.
Yeah, me too. It's and you know what? Squaresoft has always been this way, unfortunately. Is like, because Remake is a sequel, basically. It's a sequel. And what? Let's get that.
Well, then don't
strawberry.
call it a remake, or don't tempt us with, like the story that we know and love.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to do, I don't know. They should. What do I want to say here? Like they shouldn't be advertising it or composing it as it's Final Fantasy VII, but the story's not quite as good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like they should be calling it like this was never going to follow even close to the same rubric as the original story. Like you were going to get familiar characters and locations, but telling a completely alternate universe tale.
Yeah.
Like at least then, I don't think I would have been quite so dismayed when like some of the really cool, where the first game ended, we're just getting into the part of the game that I really love, And now all of that's going to look dramatically different, and the emotional impact of a lot of my favorite scenes is either going to be removed or lessened by the presence of certain characters. Nicely done. So yeah, I don't know. I would have preferred if instead of making everybody freak out over, we're finally getting an FF7 remake, like not doing that. Like, hey, in 2022, the size of FF7's world is just a little bit too big for us to do on a modern console and render everything in 4K. So instead, we're giving you this episodic tale that kind of explores some of the behind-the-scenes things going on in FF7. It'd be fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, they call it FF7 Remake. And so, yeah. There's still a part of me that expects to experience a more complete version of what I experienced as a child, and I know that's not where it's going.
Yeah, it is a bummer.
And yeah, it sucks because, like I said, on its own, like you were saying, on its own merit, Remake was really good. Like, the gameplay was freaking tight. The graphics were gorgeous. Some of the new plot pieces, like I enjoyed kind of exploring more of Midgar and learning a little bit more about Avalanche. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and the Jesse kind of little side quest with fighting, I don't remember his name was Roach or something. I thought that was like, oh, if this is like the stuff they're going to add to flesh this out, totally. It's fucking awesome. But instead of having more, that was like the only big side quest that was different that they had, aside from the Whisper bullshit. The rest of it was like, let's turn on these huge lamps, and this part of the game, the train graveyard, that was like one screen, is this whole thing. Yeah. By the way, it's actually literally haunted. Why do they have that diamond down there?
I get why they had to do that in the context of fleshing out the Midgar portion, because they couldn't have Midgar and deposit you in an open world and not have the game be like a terabyte by itself.
Yeah.
Which it ended up being anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And what was the other part that I really... Oh, God. I fucking hated the kind of like finger quotes final dungeon where they expanded Hojo's lab. God,
that did
sucked so bad, because like in the original game, yeah, it was only 5 minutes long, but it was like a fucking... It's like the game went into a horror movie for a little bit. It was so cool.
and yeah, then, Hojo's transformation, I'm missing that. I mean, I know that was later in the game, but...
Oh, yeah. But then, But then in Remake, it's like, there's no trail of blood.
I hated that shit.
He didn't even fucking kill the president, really. I mean...
Yeah, that sucks.
God. That was probably the scene that I missed the most.
Yeah, that was... I see what you're saying. Yeah, that part of the game was horror. Like...
Where you wake up in the cell and there's...
Just like
blood. It's horrible happening.
Yeah,
here.
like what the fuck is going on?
Then you're like kind of leery of going around every corner, and when you finally get to the president's office, he's fucking at his desk
impaled with this humongous 12-foot sword or some shit.
I know.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and you think about like what that meant for Final Fantasy series. Like that was something. Like 6 had some pretty dark moments, but it didn't do anything like that. But like the darkest part of that game was probably either Kefka killing Leo or Celeste's attempted suicide.
Yeah.
But both of them weren't like horrors. It was just like, no, I can't believe this is happening. You know? Whereas like with President Shinra's death, you were like, oh my god, like this dude was supposed to be the big bad.
Yeah, seriously.
And I know they talk about Sephiroth, and Sephiroth is in the instruction manual, so you kind of know what's going on. At the same time, they just fucking do away with President Shinra, and in like a gruesome fashion. Like Final Fantasy had never done that before. They'd never had someone get impaled and killed in a bloody way before.
Yeah, it turned into a horror game like that, basically. Yeah, where it's just like that was a big twist, and it's not they didn't cheapen it; they changed it completely. Like
they cut it.
And yeah, why couldn't you have the blood? Well, they couldn't have the blood trail because there was no one that was, I guess,
and because
killed.
They had to make Hojo's lab into a giant fucking dungeon.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you had woken up in that cell and then did a 3-hour-long dungeon, and then they went back to the scene,
that would have been totally... You would have just been aggravated at that point. Like, okay, can we get out of here?
It took me fucking 3 hours to solve this Scooby-Doo mystery.
Yeah. Instead, they kept your interest, and it was just... And that blood trail was like, obviously, without telling you, you're following it, because it's like, where's this go? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, and with this, it's just like, follow the goo to your next check mark. Like,
yeah. Go on. Well, but that was the other cool part. You saw Genova had been ripped out of her tank.
Yeah.
And like he had just like torn through it. Like honestly, like you weren't even sure at that point if Sephiroth was even still human, because it looked like an animal had like ripped away the cage.
And it was good on a second playthrough, because the first time playing, I didn't think that was Genova that busted out of there. I mean, obviously it's Sephiroth using Genova's body, but it was like... Playing it a second time was like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Like that's right.
Well, and then too in 7 Remake, they blew their load. Like no sooner do you see Genova's empty cage, which is nowhere near as dramatic because you actually see Sephiroth there at the scene of the crime. But then you have to fight her. Like what? And like even though I wasn't super crazy about that could have been the final boss of
that's true. It would have been a better final boss. It would have been like
final boss than what we got. It's a little bit early, but that's kind of a change that I could have lived with. Instead of fighting her first form on the boat, you fight it in Midgar. Like I understand they need a concrete final boss for that act. They can't just have you get out of the city and that's it.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think they could have, but whatever.
They could have. It could have been the fucking Hell Rider. Could have been the final boss that I would have. And I'm glad that they had it in the game. But
honestly, like I think I've shared this before too, where I originally thought they were going before I knew about the Whispers and like all the shit that they were doing. I thought that it was going to be we were going to learn that it was Roach, who was actually the pilot of the Hell Rider. And we were going to...
He literally was nowhere else in the game. They just dropped his ass.
Yep.
Like, what?
100%. And so I thought we were going to learn that he was the pilot of the Hell Rider, and that would have been another decent place for some expansion, right? Like, you fight it on the highway, and then you fight the tank fight, and then right after that, Roach gets out, and he's like, I want to go toe-to-toe with you.
Yeah,
and you,
which,
and you get like a little bit of a duel. Like, you get Cloud one-on-one with a character, and that would have been kind of a...
Yeah, he wasn't a bad new character. I liked him.
No.
And like how cocky he was and goofy, you could kind of tell he was probably a little crazy, you know?
Right. Well, and the funny thing was, though, like, even though, like, he was definitely over the top, like, the original FF7 was super quirky and over the top like that. So he actually kind of, he fit in a hell of a lot better than the Whispers.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, they just dropped him. I'm sure he'll show up in the sequel, like, somewhere for some reason.
I mean, he should, unless this is going to be like a fucking Last Jedi situation where it's just like, yeah, you know what? I didn't like this character that this person added, or...
Yeah, so they're gone now.
So they're gone.
We're going to show them on camera for 2 seconds and never touch them again. Sorry, Rose.
That was clutch.
Yeah, that was nice.
Strawberry.
Yeah, so here... Oh, nice. So here's the thing about that, though. Assuming that they do bring Roach back in Remake Part 2 or Rebirth, and he shows up to antagonize the characters again, how does that differentiate him in any meaningful way from the characters who already were doing that, which are the Turks?
That's true.
So, like, you probably have Roach and the Turks, or... Which, again, fine, but why? You had like, if you wanted to expand on Midgar, and Roach was kind of a character that helped do that, you missed your opportunity to give him some pay-through. Some payout, right? Because he never showed up again. He would have made an excellent final boss for a Midgar chapter. It would have been kind of a cool thing to see Cloud go toe-to-toe with another soldier, you know? But we never got that, and instead we got the Whispers.
Oh, shit.
I almost think, like, even people who 100% love Remake and don't really care how different it is, I think even among them, like, the Whispers are just kind of like a, yeah, what the hell, they're here.
Yeah, they're here. Because they're not interesting at all. They're a deus ex machina, like they're a means to an end. Right. It's like, oh, we want to change this game, how are we going to do that?
We got the Whispers now. Oh, get it. Nicely done.
The Whispers are not interesting. Like, there's no... Like, I'm imagining how you're talking about with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I might... it's a strawberry. Whatever. I'm not going to deal with that one. I don't know about this character, but I wonder if they're actually giving them a voice or something, and, like, actually they're going to talk about some... how do I do this? Let's see.
You will see, and you will see within the first 2 episodes.
Okay. But I'm wondering about that with the Wisp, like, I don't know, there could have been a whisper at the end that was just like, I am the, you know, could have been a fucking Nero, or I'm the voice of the fucking crystal in the planet, or some shit, like, but no, it's just like, we're faceless, basically.
We're here
voiceless.
To make sure you don't change the plot, so you have to kill us, and now we can.
And now you can change the plot freely. Yeah, it's just because Nomura wanted to, which again he can. He just wanted to change the plot completely for 7. And how am I going to do that?
What a lazy, contrived way to, like, if you want to change the plot. But like I said, why did he have to introduce these, like, super ghostly, celestial, bland creatures in order to make that happen? Like I said, we just spent, once again, a half hour talking about how this game could have made changes that meshed better with the original concept.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have to go down this way, Nomura. Like, you did not need those goddamn whisper creatures. That was so stupid. And we're going to be feeling the like, even if, like, I know, like, Square Enix said, like, we heard the fans loud and clear, and the Whispers won't be in the sequel. Yeah, but
wait, did they say that?
But you still have to live with what happened as a result of them.
And they probably never were going to have the Whispers in the sequel anyway. They serve their purpose. You've already opened up a door that says, hey, we can change the story and not have to explain it so much.
Zach is back, and we've already talked about why that's a problem. So, yeah, whatever.
Okay, hey, let's get on something else, because this is a little depressing.
Well, I was going to say, we got to end this episode, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it saves every screen, so now we're at, what, the Mirror Temple, basically? So we can end it here, but what did you think of the rest of Summer Game Fest? Like, you saw the Capcom event?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, you saw, like, the announcements?
No. Spoil it for me.
Resident Evil 4 Remake?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I did see that, but I didn't see, like, the event itself. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 Remake? Sure. Yeah. Probably my least favorite Resident Evil game that I've actually played through to completion. But whatever. I mean, the nice thing about it is since they did Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake, one thing that could come about as a real positive of that is they might kind of be trying to make the whole series a little bit more cohesive. So maybe Resident Evil 4, like whereas Resident Evil 2 and 3 more action-oriented than they were on the PS1. Maybe Resident Evil 4 will take kind of a step back from the action and dial in the horror elements a bit more, which is why I didn't like Resident Evil 4 originally.
Yeah, and it really seems like... You saw the trailer for Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, it looks spookier.
It looks like a lot more of it takes place at night.
Yeah.
I can't make it back like that.
Which I would totally be down for. Like, that was the whole reason that I didn't like Resident Evil 4 when it first came out. It played just fine. It wasn't really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Because I have no problem with over-the-top action games, but kind of what we were talking about with FF7. Like, when I go into a Resident Evil game, I have a kind of set of expectations that I'm hoping to, like Resident Evil 7 was a great way to prove my point for the exact opposite. Like, it completely changes the Resident Evil gameplay formula.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, like what I consider to be the fundamentals, which are a large area to explore and get lost in and be like terrified in. That was there, like, in more of a fleshed out, realized way than you ever could have done on the PS1, which was really cool. Resident Evil 4 gave you shinier graphics and much smoother, like, combat gameplay at the expense of almost no dramatic horror narrative tension whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, like, I think I was scared of that, like, maybe in the opening section, like when you're on your way to the village, and then like people always say like, oh, what an awesome moment it was when you were like trapped in the village and you had to like run from the chainsaw guy and get your shotgun. I fucking hated that part.
Yeah.
I really did, because it's like, wait a minute, this isn't scary anymore. The enemies are all out in the open, and instead of them being like this nagging, persistent evil that's like lurking in the background, it's kind of the same thing we were talking about Sephiroth. They just blew their load in the opening act.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my favorite part of that game was not the beginning or the castle was the weakest part for sure. But my favorite part was the very end, actually, where it had those creepy ass like squirmy things that you had to like take the sniper rifle and
and they would like come back unless you demolish them.
Yeah, because that was actually like some biohazard shit. You know, that was some tyrant shit.
But at the same time, for me, one, it was like kind of too little, too late.
I get that.
and for another thing, like they weren't in it nearly long enough.
No.
You know.
That's true.
You're right. They showed up kind of like right before the end of the game, and it was less about like, oh, what kind of fresh horror is this? They just needed like a super powerful enemy to kind of, because you were basically unkillable with your submachine gun and rocket launcher and grenades.
That's not wrong.
I mean, in that game, they literally made you the aggressor.
They did.
And again, that was kind of fun in the original games, but only for like subsequent playthroughs when you were like unlocking the infinite rocket launcher and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't ever meant to be like
the main
part of
game.
Like the main game, yeah. Like there was never supposed to be a point in Resident Evil 1 where you're like, okay, now it's time to kick some ass. No, it was always like, oh, thank God, a shotgun. This will help me survive. Oh my God, there's hunters now. you were always in that game the vulnerable one.
Yeah, it was.
And that's what made it so brilliant.
It was the next thing. Yeah, like, oh my God, like I got this Colt rifle now or something, and it's like, well, you're gonna need it, like.
Right. And then, don't get me wrong, in the second game, in Resident Evil 2, the original, they definitely upped the ante a little bit. Like, you got more powerful weapons, but then you also, like, once you beat the main scenario, you could do the B scenario, and you had fucking Mr. X chasing you.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was horrifying, because all of a sudden your ultra-powerful weapons weren't worth a damn. Unless you wanted to waste all your ammo. And then Resident Evil 3, yeah, even, like, you could craft your own ammo, there were even more weapons, but now you had Nemesis, and he was even worse.
Yeah.
And then Code Veronica, right? I think they dialed it back a little bit. They kind of changed the pace in that one. But again, you still, like, oh my God, the Arctic Lab, and
oh my God,
Nostradamus, oh my God, that was horrifying shit. And then, like, the reimagined hunters. Ooh.
Dude, I gotta play Code Veronica again. That game is fantastic.
Yeah, you're gonna love this. I just picked it up used over our vacation in the lake. There was a used game store there that I visit every year, and they had it.
What'd you get it for?
PS2.
Oh, nice, dude.
I know, it's not the original Dreamcast, unfortunately, but...
that's fine. Oh, dude, the Mercenaries... Or was it Mercenaries? There was, like, that first-person mode in that. Was fucking sweet. I remember one of my greatest feeling the most accomplished was beating the Wesker version of that, where you had a fucking knife. Oh. Yep. And then they give you that.
That was terrifying.
All right. Anyway, yeah, we said we are gonna end this a little while ago.
That's cool. I'm glad we got on this topic.
Yeah, that was.
Long story short, what I'm thinking about the Resident Evil 4 remake is, like, I'm going in with no strong opinions either way, because. You know, I have no... Well, unlike FF7, I have no emotional attachment to it. Yeah. So, if they actually make it better than the original and kind of make it sort of the same tone and pace as the 2 and 3 remakes, then, hey, hell yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm cool with that. I think it could be a great game. Yeah.
You know, only make it better.
Yeah, for sure.
Make it worse, then no loss to me because I don't really care.
I would love, like, maybe it's not how the story was supposed to work. It's not how Umbrella was supposed to be doing things. I think Umbrella was out of the picture by 4. But yeah, I would like the villagers to be less what the fuck is less just like aggressive people. And, like, more zombies again. And if you want to give them, like, fucking plant heads when you blow their heads off, fine, whatever. But
the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Yeah. So I don't know. Them being like it's The Hills Have Eyes or something. No, make them the shuffling zombies. That's me. You know, I think that's when it's at its scariest.
Right.
You know,
and, like, if you want to, like, make them slightly more intelligent than the zombies, or, like, they can kind of. Like, one of them's coming at you, so you run into a house, but one of them's, like, going around the back door of the house. That would be creepy as shit. Like, I would be down for that.
Yeah.
But, like, do stuff that zombies couldn't do with, like flank you. But you're right. Like, make them a little bit more animalistic. Because of the virus.
I don't know how to get this I might have to just skip this strawberry. I'm just going to skip it. I don't know what to do.
All right.
Well, maybe...
before we wrap up here, were there any other big announcements that I missed?
I mean, Starfield. It was like a gameplay thing.
Yeah.
For me, let's see, Street Fighter 6 was something. What was at the PlayStation event? There was something there that I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I think 16. We didn't really talk about that. That it was just like, okay, like, I'm glad. You know what? The biggest thing for me about SquareSoft in general right now.
They're making too many damn games.
Well, they are churning out these games. Yeah. Like, first of all, the whoops, I just kind of fell to my death there.
So my thought is, yeah, on the one hand, I'm glad that some of these games are getting like finally at least tentative release dates, but at the same time, like when you were talking at the thing, they have the FF7 mobile game, which we're still not 100% sure what that is. Is it a gacha? Is it a soft remake?
Oh yeah, the what the hell is it called? Last Exile? I don't
Total
remember.
Crisis or something like
Ever
that.
Crisis, there it is.
Ever Crisis, yeah. But then we're also getting the Crisis Core remake, and then they're also still doing the mobile game where it's Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Like, you know, instead of all of these like kind of side projects that are sort of kind of peripherally interesting to not interesting at all, I would just rather have them work on the two big projects. You know, get 16 ready for prime time, reveal more about 7 Rebirth, and let your teams work on that. And granted, I know that Square Enix is a megalith of a studio or a megalith of a publisher, and they have multiple studios working under them, so
yeah,
that's not a huge deal. But like, and at the same time, we're also getting new Dragon Quest games. We're getting the Live Alive remake, which I'm going to buy on day one. So it's not like their other studios aren't doing stuff, but like the Final Fantasy teams, like we're kind of going back to like how thin are they going to stretch these guys?
Yeah, I know they have multiple teams, but still, like
sure.
I know they have the Team 1, which did like 15 or something, and I think they're the ones that are doing 7 remake. I don't know who's working on 16. I know it's not like the 14 team, obviously, but they have the director.
Yeah, they have the director doing that, which has me super excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for 16.
If the tone is similar to that of 14, I'm all for it.
Me too. And you know, I've barely played 14, but yeah.
But honestly, like at this point, oh, you first. Sorry.
I was gonna say like I do like the tone of the game. I'm pretty excited for 16, just how it's looking. You know, kind of how it feels. And again, you never know until you're actually playing it. But I didn't think we'd get it as soon as next year. What is it? Next summer, even.
Next summer, like
so. I would love that.
Year. Like if I can live until then.
Right.
I know that's kind of a sad thing to say, but come on, buddy.
And it's like I don't know, 15/13 verses was such a tortured. What do you call it? Development.
Right. So what I was gonna say is for 16, like I really dig what they're doing. It looks like the gameplay is gonna be tremendously different from other Final Fantasies, which I'm fine with. Like, bring it on. Show me something new.
Talking about the 2 battle systems or something like.
Yeah, it
with
looks
the
like
summons.
there's like a dual system,
like a fighting,
as well as like a regular.
Like
yeah,
give me some R guys now.
Well,
not like
what
that.
What reminded me of was actually the Suikoden. I never know how to pronounce it, but they have like systems in that game where like there's like your usual party battles, but then there's also like one-on-one duels. Kind of like what I was getting the vibes from that FF16 trailer.
Oh yeah.
But then beyond that, like the thing that I'm most excited about is the possibility, and again, fuck you, Square Enix, for making me say this, is the possibility that they might actually tell a complete, coherent story.
Yeah,
for the first time since Final Fantasy XII.
Right.
I mean, seriously, like, you think about the last new Final Fantasy that actually gave you a self-contained, complete narrative from start to finish was in 2006.
Jesus Christ.
12? Like 13, yeah. 13 definitely had a beginning and an end, but like parts of the middle are kind of strange, and some parts were almost incomprehensible. 15 even worse.
Oh yeah.
And 14 actually does have a pretty good story from what I understand, but it's also an MMO, so it's never quite front and center, and it like by design, it has to drag out behind walls and walls and walls of text.
Yeah.
Which is fine when I'm reading a novel, but in an RPG, like, I'm expected to pour 500 hours of my life into building a character and going on raids. Like, if I'm playing for the story, then I'm playing 14 for the wrong reason. So like 16, I've really with this new trailer got high hopes for it.
Yeah, me too.
One, because they're actually, it's not remaining in development hell. They're getting it out. It's one core development team that's seeing their vision through from start to finish.
Dude, when's the last time we got, they announced something like a year and a half later, they start delivering on the trailers, and then a year later we get a release?
Not since the early 2000s.
Like 13 didn't do that. 13,
13 was out. They announced 13 this like a week after they announced 12. I will never forget that. Like, because I remember seeing the trailer for 12. I'm like, ooh, this looks cool and interesting. It's like, oh, and by the way, we haven't forgot about the next generation of consoles. And I was thinking maybe like a side game or like a spin-off or something, or hey, maybe finally FF7 remake.
Right.
Now it's PS3. Now we're playing with power.
We were naive back then.
Yeah. But anyways, and then they showed 13, and I'm like, huh, interesting choice. But at the same time, like, the 2 seconds of footage they showed looked really cool. But then, 12 came out 2 years later, and then 13 came out 4 years later. So it was a 6-year development cycle, which at the time was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They announced that way too early. And then at the same time, though, you'll remember they announced Versus 13. And then they let that slide into development hell, and then they made it
for
15,
10 years. From Versus, I should really...
Right, like if you consider Versus 13 and 15 the same project, which you should, because they're the same cast, ultimately, Versus 13 evolved into 15. Like, that's a 11-year development cycle.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. But you're right, like, they announced 16, like a year and a half ago? And then...
Yeah, November 2020.
Yeah, so a bit more. But they kind of went radio silent on it for a while, which was sort of concerning.
Yeah, good. It's knowing Square Enix.
Mostly because of Square Enix's reputation in the modern gaming landscape. But then you're right. They kept silent. They didn't make a whole bunch of stupid promises and like, hey, we're gonna show something in 3 weeks that's gonna blow your mind. And then it just turns out to be like, oh, we're gonna release a DVD beforehand.
Yeah, right. Whoops.
They didn't do anything like that. They just waited until it was ready, and then they showed more of the gameplay. And for that, you're exactly right. I am thrilled. I could not be more excited about 16.
Yeah.
So much so that, honestly, it sort of took the sting of FF7 remake. Honestly, that if 16 is as good as it looks, 7 remake can be its own animal. It can succeed or fail. 2023, I'll be all set.
That's why I'm glad we have two mainline entries coming now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Square, hopefully they've learned their lesson of announcing these games years too early. Right. And now that they're kind of using Unreal Engine, and I'm assuming Unreal Engine 5 for, I don't know actually, for Remake 2, what they're actually using.
It looks like it's the same engine.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
That's not
one, because you can still polish Unreal 4 up real nice on the PS5 with ray tracing and HDR. So that'll be fine.
Yeah.
16 is also Unreal 4, I believe.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. That's.
But with more bells and whistles, as I understand it. I could be wrong, but I seem to remember them saying that.
I'm gonna skip that strawberry.
It is a PS5 exclusive, or rather a next gen exclusive.
Exclusive, yeah.
Which is really exciting because that gives me hopes that we're gonna get more than the gas station pit stops that we got in 15 to explore.
Yeah.
God, 15 was such a fucking weird game.
It was.
I know we talk about this too all the time, but man, what a big open game with so little to do.
Right? There's there's open worlds.
That was the development cycle's fault.
Yeah. There's open worlds, but you gotta fill your world, Fill it with some interesting things. it was interesting sometimes because it was so empty that it would be like, holy shit, I'm surprised I found this weird ass like ruins or something like that.
Yeah, that was neat. Like the cities, or not cities, the pit stops were garbage.
Yes, they were.
Like,
and it was like, this is supposed to be a town. It's like, really?
The locations that you traverse in that game just were not fun. Like they had some cool dungeons. Like I liked some of the dungeons a lot actually. Like there were some moody, atmospheric, like underground caverns and abandoned mines.
Yeah, the dungeons, and it's
cool.
It seems like such a waste because the music in that game was excellent.
Oh, the music was great. Yep. But yeah, like when you got into the overworld, like once the spectacle wore off, it was just kind of like, it was almost kind of boring to travel. One, because
it really was.
You couldn't really steer the car. It sort of steered itself, even when you were technically at the driver's wheel.
Yeah.
And again, like, it was just big for the sake of being, like, they wanted to blow you away. And for a little bit, yeah, they did. But then when you realized there wasn't really anything to find, that was a bummer.
Yeah, that really was. Hey, you know what?
Okay. We need to finally end this episode.
We should end this episode, but I'm also, like, almost beating the game.
Oh, really? All right, well, we've done extended finales. Let's do it.
Let's see. 6? I could do 6 more of these.
Hell yeah.
As long as I don't suck.
That's a pretty tall order, Maxwell.
I got this.
So, are there any other games you noticed or like kind of on the horizon or kind of
I mean, on the horizon as far as this year, yes. I wish have you seen that one? It's like one of Saturn's moons. It's a horror game. There was a lot of horror games in space, and none of them were Dead Space, actually.
Which is funny because Dead Space is getting a remake.
Yeah, and literally I haven't seen much of the Dead Space remake, but they say it's coming out in January.
Oh, really?
Like,
they haven't shown anything.
No, I don't think they
I think they've shown like a single corridor that just like compares the original to like what's possible on Unreal 4.
Whoa.
Hello. But yeah, no, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, but not what the hell is it called? Let me try going this way and seeing. There we go. Okay.
Honestly, it's kind of weird. The only other game coming out this year that I'm really super excited about is Live Alive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When is that supposed to be coming out?
I think like this summer. Like I think before the end of summer.
Nice.
Like real soon. Like, did it come out?
I don't think so. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I think it is
Maybe
June. Yeah, I think it's June.
Let's see here. Live Alive for Nintendo Switch is coming out. Oh, sweet! It's already out. September 2nd,
is it really?
1994. No, I want the remake. But side note, this game is how they really ought to be fucking doing remakes.
Live Alive? Oh my god, a 2.5 remake? Yeah. I saw that and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Well, this one is more than that. Like, it's a full-on... Like, yes, it is that 2.5D style, but... Like, when you look at the graphical effects, the level of detail and everything, it looks... Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, even though
I don't want the initial release date. I want the remake, I'll call it, release date.
But yeah, if you look at the summer...
no, we've still got another month, July 22nd.
Oh, okay. If you look at the Summer Games Fest, like, live with Jeff Keighley, there's a... it actually was... They had a restricted trailer, or I guess like a censored trailer on the PlayStation Summer Games Fest thing as well. But it's this horror game, takes place on a moon. It basically looks like Dead Space. Actually, it has some of the developers from the original Dead Space on it, and it just looks atmospheric as fuck. Like, it definitely looks cool. So that game's got me excited. It starts
Fear.
No, not that one.
No,
it starts with a C.
That's Saturn 9. No?
No.
That's not it either.
Starts with a
Saturn
C.
Menace. Okay, apparently Saturn and has been used multiple times in a horror game before.
Yeah, I mean, even the one we played, what was it called? By Devolver Digital, with the oxygen tanks and everything. That was didn't like the computer took you to Saturn or something?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, apparently there's a game called Saturn Menace that pops up when you look this up. So.
But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of craziness. It was honestly the Square.
Is it supposed to look like a PS1 game?
No, not at all.
No, okay. Well, there's another game called Lunistis, which is a PS1-inspired 3D platformer that's coming out this year.
Remember the thing
Callisto.
I linked? Callisto. There it is.
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, check out a trailer for Callisto. It's like, all right, this is some OG Dead Space vibes.
December 2nd, 2022. Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, this does look dark and freaky, but I want to see what's going on in the actual game here. Did you beat it?
Basically, there's like a million other stages, but so there's a stage 8. So this is stage 7.
Uh-huh.
Then there's the end of the game little movie, and you see how many strawberries you got, and the credits. So it's kind of the end of the game, but there is 2 more stages, and we're not talking about the B-sides. And then spoiler, there's C-sides to every stage too.
Oh wow!
So the B-sides and C-sides are just like exhibitions.
But like the
there's no story.
Itself is completed.
No, stage 8 and stage 9, there's narrative as well.
Oh really?
So stage 8 is like going to the heart of the mountain. And there's not a whole lot of narrative there. It's a little bit of narrative, and then there's just like some, you have the double jump, but it only resets every screen. So you actually have to like limit your jumps. And then stage 9 is hours long. And
oh wow.
That was the DLC. That was the DLC that was like, hey, we're going to make some DLC. It's going to come out in a few months. And 2 years later, they're like, yeah, it ended up, we just wanted to keep going, and we decided to make it story too. And so,
holy crap.
So there's definitely like some deep story in stage 9, but in order to completely beat, and stage 9 is the hardest stage. It's like a B-side kind of difficulty, because the B-sides are pretty hard, and the C-sides are really hard, but the C-sides are usually just one room of like one completely crazy puzzle, basically.
Gotcha.
So stage 9 starts off kind of easy, and then it gets into like weirdness, and then a wall blocks you, and you can't get past the wall until you've beaten every A, B, and C stage.
So we're calling this the ending.
So we'll call this the ending, and maybe we'll do a special episode where I do like stage 8 and some B-sides or something. But those will be the stages where it's kind of like, okay, you died 400 times, like, because some of those stages are ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, stage 9 is, I guess you could call it the true ending or something.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a bear. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do some B-side. I don't know.
This is a pretty satisfying ending, if you ask me.
It is. It's a fun end, and then you gotta, you go to the hut and talk to the old lady and Theo and stuff too. So that'll come up in a second. But well, I say, let's finish Cuphead. And we also got to do our summer scares for sure. And then sometime later, I think we can go back and I can do some of the B-sides and like put a nice bow on this game. But sweet. I think for right now, this is a good stopping point once we see what kind of strawberry pie I'm gonna make. Yeah. So there's no point to the strawberries other than to say you're good, and you really don't satisfy anyone with a pie with no strawberries. So let's see. I probably got the second best pie because I definitely missed a lot of strawberries in like stage 5. The mirror.
You also got a lot of strawberries.
Yeah, we'll see. How did we do?
There's a pie. What's up, Papa?
Everyone, all their pixelated glory.
Indeed. This was a good game.
It's a solid.
I finally saw it. Yeah.
It's a solid platformer for sure.
Even though we spent the entire time talking about other stuff.
I know, right?
That's what we do with all our games.
That's what we do. Aw.
With the rare exceptions of games that don't let you focus on anything else, such as Cuphead.
Such as Cuphead, where you can't even. You just can't.
You try to talk about anything else, Cuphead will punish you.
Cuphead will show you that you shouldn't be doing that. Mr. Oshiro. So dramatic.
aka Tingle from Legend of Zelda. Oh, there's a game that I haven't heard a whole lot of. Do we have like a release date for the Breath of the Wild sequel?
No release date other than 2023.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for
2023 is going to be a year of some heavy hitters.
I know. It's
Resident Evil. It's going to start with Resident Evil 4 remake, then Final Fantasy 16, then somewhere in there
you got Dead Space. Here we're going to see about God of War 2. We have seen so little of that game. They keep saying 2022. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like February 2023. And if that's the case, like 2023 is going to be crowded with some good games.
Oh yeah, which is a good problem to have, but yeah. But honestly, God of War lately, I enjoyed the PS4 game just fine, but I don't know. Like honestly, I think with how many Souls-like games exist now, I have a lot of trouble getting into them. Like just by virtue of them sharing a combat system and gameplay mechanics.
Wait, so would you consider God of War like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Total Souls clone. Which is weird because like I understand they wanted to take it in a completely new direction, but at the same time, like they didn't really. It was sort of a cop out. It's almost like what if God of War were a Souls game? Okay.
I do like the fine. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't quite see like why everyone thought it set the gaming world on fire.
It is definitely a slower paced. It's not as fast paced as the OG God of War games.
No,
for sure.
not at all. But it didn't have to be. It's just like
it had a nice
Souls
mechanic.
Games are Souls games or Souls-like games are kind of weird for me because, like I said, they're almost just like an instant turn off at this point.
Okay.
Even if like God of War was not like the same level of difficulty. Like I actually beat that game with no problems.
Yeah.
Necessarily. And what was another one that I actually enjoyed? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Like that took the Souls formula
that was
kind of made it more interesting by the fact that you could do Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that was and it was way more about platforming and exploration. That was almost a Metroidvania game.
Okay. That's an interesting take. Like a 3D Metroidvania.
Yeah, it really was.
So you had some retreading your steps in that game?
Oh, constantly.
Okay.
And like a whole ton of hidden things to find. It was like big maps. Like it was good. Like if you get a chance, play Jedi Fallen Order. Actually, that's
I think it might be on Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, I should give it a try.
Yeah.
Although I've actually been playing more games by myself recently. Like I feel like for a while I've been too depressed to do that. And now it's like I'm getting there where it's just like, okay, I've started playing Sonic Mania a little bit.
Sweet.
Just to and I was like,
you'll like this. The next game that I'm gonna you'll love this. The next game that I'm determined to beat is Yakuza.
Nice. Okay, good.
I'm playing that every day again.
Oh, you are playing it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool, good. Yeah, tell me. Well, after this, tell me where you're at because I'm interested. I fucking love that game. Yeah. And then after that, you gotta play Nier.
Yeah, Nier is one of those ones, like, I don't know what it is. I've popped it in a couple of times and for some reason can never commit to it.
It actually took me a bit to commit to as well. I guess the beginning's kind of boring. It probably is. But once you kind of really get into it, oh, fuck, dude. It's an awesome game. Like, if we're just talking about Squaresoft, because it doesn't even feel like a Square Enix game. They got their hands in so many things these days, but
right.
It's their best work in a very long time. It's cool. A very, very beautiful, kind of cruel game.
I mean to.
Yeah, me too. I'll do it this afternoon. All right. Well, this has been Celeste, and it's been one hell of a finale, finale, man. But. Yeah, we'll I guess Cuphead maybe next, and then we'll kind of figure out what spooky stuff we're gonna do.
Yeah, where to start our summer spoops.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying, what was the other thing? Not the Quarry. I think the Quarry is on there.
You mentioned a horror game, and I don't remember what it is.
Well, I think there's other horror games I can look at. The one that I was mentioning was not really a horror game. It's like a Castlevania inspired with the enemies, which counts. But it was more like a dopamine rush, like kill thousands of enemies until you die, kind of Gungeon type thing. So, but looked fun as hell if you look at the trailer.
Nice. All right, man. Well, either way, we will see you next time. And yeah, this has been Celeste.
All right, it's been Celeste. Stay healthy out there, everyone. We'll see you next time.